What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Bob Blunders. Today we're continuing the rapid rating climb. Left off at 544 rapid, which is probably about where I think we belong at now that we're finishing kind of our placement matches. Definitely feel like I've had a little bit of a slump of blunders lately as well. Of course, this is only going to be our sixth game on our chess.com Bob Blunders account here, but I have played a few Lead Chess games here and there, and definitely just usually it's caused by time trouble, but definitely just blundering pieces, mainly the queen. But hopefully we don't have that issue today. So let's go ahead and roll right into it. Okay, we get the white pieces. Let's start with our London system. All right. They'll respond with d5, and interesting move there, knight to a6. I'll just keep an eye out for that move to get the fork. So there's a couple of good responses to that, but for now I will bring out our knight to f3 like normal. Okay, they're pushing some pawns. I don't think that's too big of an issue. Maybe they plan to move this bishop here and have it protected. I mean, if they move it here, I can't do anything about it anyway. Now, it would, because I plan to play e3 to get my bishop out. So they would be pinning the knight and having it protected, and then if we wanted to take back, they would have that pawn there. So not sure what the plan is. So I hope I'm not making any mistake, but I think we can always play f2 for a trade there, or maybe they're just kind of making some random pawn moves here. We have that check there, but doesn't really accomplish anything. Technically forks the knight, but the knight's defended, so we would just be trading the bishop for the knight. So everything's looking normal here. I think I'll just keep doing the normal London opening. Okay, so they're starting this pawn push here, and maybe that was their plan. So our bishop, this is a little interesting for our bishop, because I don't want to get it trapped. And if I push it back to g3 and they push this pawn, then the bishop's trapped. Is it already trapped? Well, let's see. Nope, that would just allow a fork. I was thinking block. Well, I could push one of our pawns to block. Then they would just take. So I'm thinking here. Yeah, so that was what they were setting up with this pawn move. If I do anything other than move the bishop, I'm going to lose it. And at this point, is there a bigger threat I can create to kind of buy the bishop some time? Just thinking about that. I mean, if we take the knight and they take back, we are just going to lose both bishops. This is a tough situation here. Hello, kitty. Not the best time, but you're always welcome here. Let's see. I don't know what to do. I mean, yeah, if I push. I think our bishop is lost. We have a check there. Which, can they block that check? No. So they can't block that check. So the king would have to move and lose castling rights. So if we're going to lose our bishop, we could at least make them lose castling rights. we don't really have a good follow-up because we can't get a second check with this knight. But then we could drop back and get a second check. So here, check. Yeah, the king has to go to d7. Move back, check again. But then again, if we just continue to push the king out. I don't know, it's spending a lot of time. I don't really know what to do, so maybe we can take the pawn. They're still going to take our bishop. Okay, so yep, they do have to move. And we can't do anything with the knight because they'll just take. And the queen can't really come out. So we can move back with check, but that doesn't, the king just goes back. So yeah, there wasn't really a follow-up. I could lose the knight instead. They would take. Then we could start pushing the center maybe? I don't know. We just don't have a lot of help. I don't want this bishop to get trapped here either. We could attack this knight. I mean, our bishop's still going to be trapped. There's really no way. If I push this pawn, they'll just take the bishop. Then I could push the pawn again. They take. I bring the knight out. I don't know. A second check just doesn't. I mean, the king would just go back. So, and then if we take the bishop, we're just going to lose it. And then if I play this move and they take, is this bishop trapped? Yeah, then this bishop would get trapped. What if we take, they take? We take with the knight. I don't know. I think that bishop was lost, so just thinking of a way to maybe get some kind of fork. They take, we move in the knight. Knight's protected by the bishop, but that's a couple moves down the road. And we still have our king in the center. So we can always just withdraw, bring the bishop back. So I do want to, we can't take that, they'll take, we could take with the knight, but I'm not opposed to just bringing this bishop back because we could still fight for this center because this pawn's gone. So we can still push for the center and then develop normally instead of trying any crazy plans. We have this check, of course. What does that do? That would further bring the king out, which is not bad. I don't know what to do after that, but the queen can start getting involved and our second knight. And then we can do the fork. Can we? Yeah, can we fork? Like, king comes out. I didn't really calculate that very good. I probably should calculate a little bit better beforehand. Say hello, kitty. No, you're not in the mood. Just want to stay on the lap. But the king will have to come out somewhere. And I'm just thinking we can, like, get our bishop back with some sort of fork here. So here we have a triple fork because we're going to fork the king, the queen, and the rook. So I think we can win the queen, right? Damn, if that's the case, then this I played this pretty well. So let's double check. Okay, knight here. King just has to move. So that's it. We win the queen. Oh man, I was so mad at myself for trapping that bishop, and I think, okay, we win the queen. Let's go. All right, so at this point, do I want to bring the bishop back to safety and then develop normally and just be happy? I think we should. I think that's a good idea. Of course, there's also we have the pawn push. They take, we take. Then we bring the knight out. I know we need to castle soon, so maybe I should have castled first. Of course, if they don't take, then we're going to get double pawns. And then I can't bring the bishop back. Well, I can after we take, but I was kind of thinking they would take. Yeah, so now we've just kind of re-trapped the bishop. So maybe we should push this pawn so we can bring the bishop back. It's not like any of these pawns are defended, so I should probably have brought the bishop back first, then start attacking the pawn. Yeah, I was about to move my bishop anyway, don't worry. I really think I need to bring the queen and the knight out soon. Attack the knight. Doesn't really do much. Except for win a free pawn, which they could probably yeah, it's already defended, so it's not free. Maybe we just bring our bishop back. Bring the knight in. Castle. Queen comes out somewhere. Something like that. That's a fork, right? So the queen comes here. We take the bishop. Win the rook. But I think we need to castle quickly. Like, that's probably a bad idea, right? Like, just go bring the queen out. Because as soon as I do this, they'll move the bishop. So then we'd be forking the bishop and the knight. I should probably castle. It's like something about me being on the offensive here and on this attack makes me want to just keep attacking. And there we go. That's why it probably wasn't a good idea. So, should we castle first? Or I think we can trade. I mean, right? They still have two bishops and a knight, though. Just thinking if I trade, they take, I take the pawn. I don't know if I want to be without a bishop, especially when we have all of this going on. If the knight goes here, doesn't do too much. I don't know. We'll trade. I just have nothing in the center, protecting my pieces, so. And the bishop can go here with check. So maybe we should castle first. Or we have check here. And then king would probably have to move. I don't know if that check does anything. King moves, we castle, bring our knight in to defend the queen. Gotta save myself a little bit of time. Okay, so can't do that. Let's maybe castle. Or can I get a fork? Nope, the bishop is defending that rook now, and also that square. And we can't do that because the king can take. And that just seems like a bad idea, right? Just bring in the queen. So let's just quickly castle. We got time. We can always bring the queen back to safety. I'm worried about a little bit of a pawn storm over here, but our pawns in the center are unchallenged because they've pushed all of theirs. So we can bring the knight in, bring the... Whoops, almost played that move on accident. Okay, still can't do that. We can go back to that plan we had earlier. Drop the queen back. Oh, no, there's no check anymore, right? Yeah, there would be no check on the king. That was here. So I think we will really want to defend these pawns, but I have to protect the queen first, and I'm worried about a knight move later. If the knight moves in, he'll be threatening those squares, so let's maybe bring our queen back here, get the rooks in the middle, bring the knight out. I should probably get the knight out first, and they can always push a pawn. Still have this weak pawn here. Yeah, I was thinking about that. So they have this pawn is still weak. So I can slide the bishop back, but they can keep pushing the pawns. Oh no, this pawn's protected by the bishop. So I think we will need to... Yeah, still can't win the rook. It's defended by the bishop. I think bring the queen back. So I guess that was the danger of messing around with my queen, right? Is too much time I have to spend protecting it. I really need to get my knight involved so I can open the rooks up. Because, I mean, despite we won their queen, but I don't really feel like I'm up material. Like, they have more pieces. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and to R4. So I would love some kind of fork to get rid of that knight. Okay, they're threatening to fork our rook and queen. We would just take. So I want to bring the rook. I also want to get our knight involved. So if we can bring our knight in the center, if they want to try the fork, we would just take it. What if they move the knight here? What are they threatening? I don't think anything in particular. So let's bring our knight out. Okay. I just need to get, like, I feel like I need to get on the offensive quick with the rooks and the queen because they just have the king's out in the open. So it's like we just need to just start pushing in. Maybe if we push the pawn, that's dangerous. Okay. That's why they moved that pawn. Wait a second. That's just a free bishop. No, the knight's protecting it. Okay. If we move the knight to d5, if they take, then we take the bishop. but we would move, they would take our queen, and then we would, yeah. So okay, I thought they might want to take that. And that would be, let's see, if we take, it's not really a problem. Will you just figure out where you want to go? I'm sorry. Now we can't do that because they brought that extra defender out. Getting low on time. Maybe I should have brought the rook here and then moved the queen up, because then we could have made the trade. Oh wait, does that still work? Push the pawn. They take, I take, they take, I take. So that's good, right? So let's look at this. I take. If they take, then we take. So I take, they take, knight takes, our knight takes, their rook takes, our queen takes. That's good for us. But I hope I'm not missing something else. We're just getting a little bit too low on time to think about another strategy. Okay, so now we would take. But they would take with the rook. Oh, so we did mess up the math. What the heck? Damn it. Yeah, if we take, they take, we take. Ah, man, I miscounted the defenders. Shoot. Well, now we're not looking as good. I had a little bit of a loss here. Oh, was that dumb? So I can still get back ranked. And I don't want that behind, so they've played really good positional moves. I will say that. Yeah, they take, and then they're up. So that's no good. Yeah, they've created a lot of good threats and everything after going down their queen early. They played some really good moves. Okay, we need to be thinking about our next step because we can't just simply take that with our queen. We can't do anything like this. I'm sure the knight will move. Did I allow a fork anywhere? I don't think so. Yeah, there's what I was worried about, but now we have check on the queen, wins the knight. Check on the king, wins the knight, sorry. And then we can take. Takes. Because, yeah, that's one thing I want to check. Make sure the bishop wasn't defending the knight. How do they have 13 minutes? We just play slow, I guess. Takes. They do have more pawns, though. Okay, so now if we takes, they have the back rank, so we can't let that happen. And we don't have a check right now. So, and we're running out of time. Shoot. Oh, and we blundered our queen. Nope, I can't even do that because that's checkmate. Shit. Why do I do these things? I could have moved the king over. But not on a brown square. Well, hats off to them. They played really well for a 500 rated player. I thought it used to show the ratings during a game. No, I guess it doesn't anymore. So, hopefully we can shoot for a stalemate. I mean, they should just leave that there. I could push the pawn. Push. Would that be mate? No, I would not. Takes. I mean, that's still a good trade for them. They can just promote. Yeah. And they don't know how to checkmate, so they just take all the pawns. I shouldn't be saying that. I wouldn't either. I don't mean it like that. Yeah, they're just going to try to promote, and now we won't be able to stop it. So, okay, well, that'll be, yeah, just 2 more steps, and then that'll be mate. So, I guess we can go up here for a moment. Yeah, I can go there if they bring the queen. And now pretty much anything should be mate, because the king. So, if they, oh wow, that's not mate yet. So let's see. We'll come back out. Although that was probably a better chance for a stalemate. It was the other way. Yeah, we had to blunder the queen there.
You built up a nice advantage that game. Let's focus on how to convert it into a win.
Yep, up until we blundered the queen.
Many interesting positional games.
Yep, right there. Okay, so I should have pushed the knight. I was looking at that. Just, yeah, moving the knight up, I guess. But I thought I played well until that moment. Let's see, what did we end up having on? Was it like 82 accuracy? Oh, I had a brilliant move. That is my first brilliant move. All right, yeah, because the opening, okay, we can still be proud of the opening. No matter what, no matter how good of an advantage I get to, I will find a way to get low on time and blunder my queen. But this is what I struggle with, is the only reason we got to that point and won the queen is because I took my time and did well, and, we won the queen. But then I'm out of time, so I'm going to blunder my queen later, But I think once the pain of this loss wears off, I'll be very happy with how I played this opening. So let's review the opening and feel really good about ourselves for a second. Okay. Book London moves, right? I was wondering what they were doing with there, and I thought they were setting up that bishop trap. I don't know if that was intentional or not. Okay. There. So that is when I thought my bishop was trapped for sure. We spent a lot of time on this. I'm now able to win a pawn. So what did we... What the heck? Okay, so I did play the best move. Yeah. That was the brilliant move. But that's not what I played, right? So what I played was... We checked the king. It moves. We did. We found the brilliant move. Oh, man. That's really cool. I'm really happy about that. Yeah, so I knew that my bishop was lost, and it was basically trapped. So, basically, we ended up winning the queen, I think, when we brought the knight in. So, yep. Us taking and them taking back. Wow. So, and a great move. So we can be very happy about that. I mean, no matter what happened in this game, I think that is awesome. Okay, and then we win the queen. Triple fork. Boom. So, and then I completely fell apart. Now, not right away. I didn't quite know where to go. Yeah, I was like, bring the bishop back, develop normally. We should win the game because we're up a queen. I mean, it's only saying 4 points because we gave away our bishop, and our knight. So, but we got the pawn and the queen. So, all right, everything I did. Yeah, I decided we can just trade and just collect pieces, but I had that plan there with trying to win the rook, or was it the bishop, I think. Okay, I'm still playing well. and then this is where I kind of got stuck, right? Okay, so that was bad. Yeah, that's right. I was getting low on time, and I was like, man, where do I go with this? And that was the mistake because, yeah, later on, well, then we just moved our knight, or when did we? Yeah, we dropped the queen back is when we blundered it. Yeah, so we play a good move to win the knight. Wow, so we were still just playing really well, and then we just forgot about the bishop. Man, I could have just moved it right here. Wow. No guarantee. I mean, I think what was the better move? So yeah, we moved the knight. Kind of see how this plays out. Well, I would have probably not made a king move. Oh, actually, I did consider this move later because I was realizing the back rank threat. Instead of pushing this pawn, and they take, and then they can take this pawn. What I was thinking is in this situation with the rook being on the e file is actually one way to defend the back rank make and be able to use my rook to go attack their king is just push the king over here because they can't. They would have to lose. They would just lose their rook without the help of this one or without moving the rook over to another file. So, but even then we could escape. So I did have that thought, but we never got to that point because we blundered our queen. And then yeah, we just I'm sure we made a mistake here. Yeah, that was just kind of hopeless. But we just escaped as we could. What was the only good move? Yeah, forced. And then, okay, so I should have pushed up. I was just thinking I was in the king's bubble. So if I'm in this bubble, then I'm if the pawn wasn't here, the queen, all the queen has to do is move there for a back rank. But okay, either way, it was going to be checkmate. All right, well, okay. Now that the pain of the loss is wearing off, I mean, we were under time pressure. How long did we have left when I blundered the queen? A minute 22. So I'm sure more experienced players, that's plenty of time for them to convert this into a win. And I thought that I could do it. If I could have just had like a chance to win one of the rooks or the bishop, then I was like, no problem. I got a queen against two rooks. This, we can do this. But yeah, we get stressed out when we're low on time like that. But wow, I am very happy that I saw this because I really did sit there and calculate it and say, wait a second, we check, we sacrifice, and then we bring the knight in, and boom. We check again, forced move away into the triple fork. Well, actually, the king decided to make it a triple fork. He could have moved over here or something. But either way, it was gonna win the queen. So, all right, cool. Well, we'll take that as a great learning game, I think. So, all right, GG's. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one.